This is Hot Mike.
Hot Mike.
On the networks of WDAY. Here's Dom Izzo.
Welcome back, everybody. Friday morning show halfway done. We got NFL picks with my pops coming up in about a half hour. Looking forward to that. I'm going to gloat over Sam that his Steelers beat the Colts last week, so that's coming up before we wrap things up here on a Friday. We started our show, of course, with the highlights of the game that happened last night down in the Twin Cities. The Moorhead Spuds are moving on to the Class 6A semifinals. They'll play at U.S. Bank Stadium next Friday night after a 35-21 win over the Centennial Cougars. Our pleasure to be joined by head coach Kevin Feeney and his son, starting quarterback Jett Feeney, join us this morning. Jett, did you guys plan this? You guys look great. Are you wearing the with the outfits? Is this planned?
Yeah, it wasn't planned. We have tons of different Moorhead sweatshirts. Somehow we both came to school at different times. We wore the same one. We're like, we did not plan it. No.
What time did you guys get back to the house last night?
3 in the morning. 3 in the morning.
Boy, that is another late night. All right, so I did the math on this. The combined road trip here for your 7 trips, 3,312 miles. That's a lot of time on the bus there, boys.
I think we're 8 out of the last 11 weeks that we've been in the cities in a month straight. So, yeah, it's kind of become the norm. But I tell you what, our kids have been resilient all year. We don't really talk about it within our team. I think, Dom, we talk about it more on your show than I talk about it at all. But you know what? This group, this is just kind of the routine, and we eat at the same place. We have the same pregame, the same everything. And as you well know, football coaches don't like deviations from the schedule. And so we've got it kind of figured out down to the minute, no matter the miles.
All right, Jett, take me through the game last night. We talked with your dad yesterday, obviously, that they want to run the ball. They were going to try and keep it out of your hands. How important was a couple drives you guys had, especially the one right before the half, to score a touchdown? How big was that to take a lead in a halftime?
It was huge. You know, the first possession, the defense, they got to stop. That was huge. You know, if they get ahead early, they can just salt the clock away. Then they control the game. But since we got to stop on the first drive, we were able to control the game the whole time. And then we scored right before the half, which was a huge point in the game since we got the ball at halftime. And I think that's the reason we're so successful.
Kev, tell me about that stop from the did you tell the defense anything about? I mean, to get that to start the game, man, the sideline had to be going crazy after that.
Well, I told you yesterday, I think on the show, that it was going to be a street fight mentality, and I really challenged the kids in the pregame locker room to have that mindset of you can't get bullied. You can't. I mean, Centennial is really, really good at what they do, and we had to come out and match that physicality. And you know, it didn't hurt that they got an illegal procedure on the first play of the game. So to go to 1st and 15, but to get a 3 and out, to get field position, they didn't have a great punt, and so we got a short field, and we were able to go right down the field and just kind of get that sigh of relief on, okay, hey, we belong on this, and we can play with this group. And our confidence is, like I said, is at an all-time high, and these kids maybe don't know what they shouldn't know, which is okay also. And I tell you what, our defense, though, all night long just played it outstanding. And then, like Jett said, the kickoff return to open up the third quarter just kind of was like a huge momentum shift from there on out.
All right, Jett, I'm assuming you got your moves from your dad, because I know your older brother can't move around like that. But tell me about your ability to get out of the pocket last night. How big was that to score 2 touchdowns?
It was huge. You know, they were just dropping everybody, so the middle was wide open outside, and I just took it, you know. They were daring me to run the ball, so I did, and it worked out for us.
Have teams figured that out? I don't know if they figured that out about you can move, because I think you're going to drop back and throw it every time, especially that first one. I mean, it was wide open for you.
Yeah, you know, most of the games, you know, with my shoulder injury, I'm not trying to run too much. But now that I'm fully healed, you know, I'll do anything. I'll put my body on the line for it.
That second one, that was quite the pop. That one hurt after that in the second touchdown?
Nah, that didn't hurt at all.
Because he got in the end zone, right?
Yep, I like that.
There was a play earlier in the game where he took off running and picked up a huge first down and slid, and maybe a couple guys came in late, and I absolutely love it. We had some offensive linemen that came flying into the picture and made sure that they understand that was not going to be allowed the rest of the night.
So we're watching the highlights of the game when Centennial tied it at 14, and we mentioned that drive, Kev, that came down, and you get the touchdown to go up 21-14. That one to David. What was that for the sideline?
It was huge. You know what I mean? And you know, we
you talk about the high flying offense and stuff. We work on 2 minute multiple times throughout the week, and so it's kind of become the norm. But I tell you what, when you can kind of put that dagger in right before the half, and we've done it multiple times now throughout this playoff run, and it's huge. But like, I think on some of these drives we've had 5 or 6 different receivers catch ball or Tay make a big run, and so I mean it's a total team thing. And David Mack is really, really good around the goal line. And like Jett said, a couple of those things, they try to take away your best options around the goal line, but they are going to give us the opportunity to maybe run the football with our quarterback. And like he said, we don't like encourage him to do it all the time, but it's always built into the game plan. And we have like the run pass option stuff when we're in our empty that he has the ability to take off running when need be.
Jett, when you saw Tay pick up the ball to start the second half, did you get a sense right away he had a window for it? I'll ask your dad about it, but what did you see on that play when Tay took it back to start the second half?
Oh, I was just on the sideline getting ready, watching some film on the TV, and I look up and Tay just running into the end zone. It was really exciting. After that, I was like, that pretty much sealed the game right there.
Okay.
But you know what's super cool on that is Zach Walker and David Mack, who are obviously receivers for our football team, and Zach's a great corner for our football team. But we put our hands team out to open up the third quarter because they have a great kicker. And so we thought, okay, they're going to kick in the end zone or they're going to try and swing momentum back into their favor and do some sort of surprise onside. So we put our hands team on and they pooch it. And I say this because David Mack's normally not on kickoff return, but he's on there because he's on the hands team. Those two get a block for about 20 yards that sealed this whole thing and sprung Tay for the touchdown. And like Jett said, it just kind of swung the momentum back to our favor. Like, hey, we're here for real now.
When the ball's bouncing, are you worried like, oh boy, here we go, or are you like Tay? You got full confidence that he can make something happen there?
Well, you'll laugh because some of the hands team, right? We put a lot of baseball players out on the field because those guys are middle infielders and Tay plays baseball and all that kind of stuff. And so, like, you don't ever want to because the ball will bounce, man. It's a weird shaped object, all right. So I mean, the bounces can go your way or don't go your way, but thankfully Tay was able to hit it on the dead run. And like I said, we had multiple guys get blocks, but David Mack and Zach Walker, I literally think pancaked the kid and ran him for about 20 yards and right down their sideline. Wow. I don't know if it can get any better than that.
Jett, I want to go to the last drive. After they go for it on fourth down and they don't get it, you had a big play to J.J. Dunlap, but the one to me was the fourth down play where you drew him off sides. Take me through that, what that play call was like.
Yeah, we were just making sure we're telling everybody do not move at all. We do not have a play call. We won't have a play call. We're just going to call timeout. And I was just trying to draw him off sides. I was like, maybe we should run in the center and fake it too. So then I did that, and
that was his fault.
Oh, is that right? Holy cow! You're laughing. Why? Perfect. You're laughing. Tell me why.
Well, because I mean, number one, he's not very theatrical. Let's just start with that. I mean, we do a lot of freeze, and we're trying to see where the pressure is going to come from. But this one, it was super important, and we had a little bit of an argument on third down. Trey was at the game last night.
That's awesome.
And I was setting up and saying, hey, you know what? Let's maybe just play it safe and punt it away. And he looks at me and goes, you got some of the best players in the state, and you want to punt it away to this team right now? Let's finish this thing. And I said, all right, we'll do the freeze thing. We'll see it, and then we'll take the timeout, and then we're going to go for it if we don't get the freeze. But like I said, I didn't think Jett had that kind of theatrical moment, but he went under there and barked it out. And hey, we've showed him the John Gruden cadence thing, right?
Yeah,
I mean, on the Barstool deal, right? And I'm like, dude, for years I've been telling him, you got to have some inflection and you've got to be able to really enunciate things in the huddle. And so thankfully all that hounding on for years finally came to fruition.
Jett, when the nose jumped, I mean, tell me your reaction because you run up, we showed the play. I mean, what was your oh my God, this worked.
It was really exciting. The whole team just started going crazy in the huddle. Yeah. And it was crazy, really exciting. David came up to me right afterwards. He gave me a big hug. It was really exciting for us.
I want to go to the last kneel out when you tossed the ball up and you ran for your dad. Can you tell me was that more son dad than it was quarterback coach at that moment?
Yeah, definitely. We're in the film room all the time at home, and we have a really good connection where our minds are together on the field all the time. Our minds are together with the play calls, and my brother was there last time, so it's all three of us. I think that really helps our offense during the games.
You tell me about that moment. We talked a couple weeks ago after you beat Blaine. What was that like for you as dad then to be out there to hug him?
Yeah, I tell you what, it's super special. I know these days are limited. You don't want to take him for granted. You know, he went through a tough injury, and you know when you think you have 2 seasons left with it, and we didn't get that, we didn't know if he was coming back, and told my wife the Lord works in mysterious ways. This wasn't our plan, but He had a much better plan, and it was pretty emotional for a lot of us last night in our family.
Now, if I said that was not even the highlight of the night, I don't know if anybody believed me, but afterwards, Kevin took us there. So you got to eat. What happened after the game?
Well, okay, first of all, we've been doing a lot of Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A on a Thursday night won't cater after 9 p.m. So
Okay.
we go to the pizzas. Well, there's only the large pizza joints that will actually deliver. Set that up. I don't know if I should throw Papa John's under the bus, but we ordered from Papa John's a couple days before, and 40 pizzas, and it's 15, 20 minutes later than what we ordered them, and they're not there. And I called the guy, and it's a poor kid, man. He's like an 18, 19-year-old kid. And he goes, "Sir, I'm here by myself. Nobody told me that I had to make 40 pizzas until like 20 minutes ago."
Oh my
I
gosh.
said, "Hey, we'll drive over to you," because I was like, I'm not going to sit and wait. And he goes, I can't deliver them. There's nobody else here. So then I take the team over, and John Pike walks in with me, and he goes, "Hey, where are we at?" And he goes, "I got 3 made." And I'm like, "Oh my gosh, we're going to get home at 5 a.m. now." And so John goes, "Hey, will you let kids work?" He goes, "I'll do anything." And we had about 15 kids that run into the pizzas. We got Big Neo flipping the dough. I was like, amazing. And we cranked out 40 pizzas in about 20, 25 minutes, and
Unbelievable.
hit the road and got back here right before 3 a.m.
Wow. Jett, does that even make this story, this win, even sweeter with having that happen after the game last night?
It makes it way better. Yep.
Adapt and overcome. That was
Oh,
that was the deal, man.
All right,
Adapt and
well,
overcome.
can your teammates make some pie? Was it any good?
I thought it was better than the normal pizzas.
I'm
And the funny thing is that when they were making the pizzas, they ran out of toppings.
They ran out of red sauce, and then we're just like, "Hey, let's throw some white and chicken, whatever.
Oh,
we don't
no.
care."
Oh my God. Well, that is a football adversity, no doubt. That's fantastic.
Amen to that.
Oh my gosh. All right. Well, Jett, you're still playing, man, and you got another game. It's US Bank Stadium now. Has your mind gone there yet, or is it still too fresh of what happened last night?
Yeah, it's great. You know, the team's motto is always road to the bank, and now we're there. So now we gotta gain even more respect and just keep winning in there.
Do you feel like now finally you guys have earned that? You're the new kids on the block in 6A, that nobody knew about you, and obviously you got hurt, that finally now that you have some respect that you've made it all the way there?
Yeah, definitely. I think we've gained a lot of respect since the start of the season. I think Maple Grove will be a big one for us, or Lakeville South. That'll be a big game for us to gain more respect. Obviously, they're one of the best teams in the state, so that will be that's
Great challenge.
Great challenge.
Kev, I immediately thought of the game last year, the Alexandria game, because everything was lined up. You were at home, had a chance to go to US Bank Stadium. You mentioned it works in mysterious ways. Do you think about that at all? Like, okay, we're doing this year in our first year of 6A. We're in the semifinals.
You know what? Dean said it to me after the game was over. He goes, "Who would have thunk it would have taken to go to 6A to get to US Bank Stadium?" You know, in 2015, when we played in the state semifinals, it was under construction.
Yes.
So we played at Minnetonka. And so we've never been in that venue. And you know what? I mean, I was thinking about last night. Like I said, emotions were pretty high, but I had the good fortune to do the All-Star football game in 2019.
right.
And I was the head coach for the North squad. And I had Jett with me for that week. And so I have videos of me and Jett throwing bombs on US Bank Stadium when he was just a little tyke, and super special. I didn't know if we'd ever get that opportunity, especially like you said, after last year. And with the jump up to 6A, who knows? But it's been a special ride, and super appreciative for this group of kids on helping us get there.
Jett, what's the first couple hours at school been like here, bud?
Oh, it's been tiring. I didn't go to first block. I just woke up and came right to here. So
Hey, quiet now. Quiet. Don't get us in trouble.
I want to ask about for you, Jett, when moment for you and your teammates, you get introduced next week, going out there at the home of the Vikings. What do you think is going to go through your mind?
it's gonna be great. You know, it's gonna be it's winter, go home. So the team's gonna give it their all. and we just gotta go out there and do what we do, score like every possession like we have been, and that's the plan.
How different is it knowing, I guess, confidence-wise for you guys when you get the ball, like, nobody stopped us yet? I mean, what kind of mentality is that when you go out there knowing, all right, nobody stopped us yet?
Yeah, we have a lot of confidence. All year we've been doing it. We've been going up and down the field. So I think that'll give us we have great confidence going into this game.
I have a couple things to say before I let you go, and I really appreciate you guys doing this. The win over Edina, what did that do confidence-wise to have the game play out the way it did? Did that set this all up in your mind?
Well, I think it did. Certainly you don't want to go into games thinking that you're going to have to score 50, 60 points to win games. But on the same token, I know when we started to really break down 6A football, when we were told that was going to happen, I looked at the average scores, and the scores are, low 20s and into the teens, pretty consistent. And I thought, you know what, for us to be successful, we're going to have to try and turn things into track meets. And I use the word uncomfortable. You got to make some teams uncomfortable, and not everybody's comfortable playing at the pace that we've been accustomed to, especially when we played teams like Alexandria, you know what I mean, that are just so much firepower that, so I think that's probably the big message. And certainly, like I said, the defense played amazing last night, and it would be great to say that we can go in and do that against Maple Grove or a Lakeville South team, but I don't know if that's realistic. And so we have the mentality that we've got to do things really, really well on offense and just try to keep teams uncomfortable. And I think if we can get that done, we gives ourselves opportunity. And the moment has never been too big for this group. And our plan is to just kind of do the same thing, and we'll get our kids down, hopefully, to US Bank Stadium on Thursday night to watch that first game, to just kind of let them see the environment, so that when we show up there to play on Friday night, that it's not about the environment, it's about the game, and we can focus in on our opponent and just doing what we do.
Jett, last thing. I've done all these interviews with your dad. We haven't talked about the guys up front. Tell me about your offensive line, how good they have been.
They've been amazing. Every Wednesday I would take them out to eat. We would always go somewhere. So then we have a really good connection with my O-line, and they're amazing. They've been great all year. They've been dominant. We can pass the ball, we can run the ball, we can do whatever we want. So it's amazing. They're doing great.
And they can make pizza too, apparently?
Apparently they can, yeah.
It's funny how those guys know how to make food. And like our strength coach said it best. He goes, if you went to a taco shop, guess what? They'd figure out how to make great tacos too.
That's exactly right. In your heart of hearts, I can ask your dad this. You want Maple Grove to win this game tonight?
I say so, yeah. Get another chance at them.
I know you're gonna play it down the middle, but tell me, Kev, about this matchup tonight, and knowing you have maybe another shot after how the game played out here to maybe get another crack at them at US Bank next Friday night.
Yeah, you know what? They're super deep, super talented, tremendous offensive line, great speed at running back, a Division I quarterback. I mean, they've got all the tools in the shed, and I'm 100% sure that their coach took over for Coach Lombardi, and ever since he's never lost the game. And so all that stuff is, but you know what? It's high school kids, and crazy things happen. And like I said, I love the belief system that our team has. And last night, whether you played 1 snap or 50 snaps, our kids came out there and competed, and that's what I know they'll do. And I've been messaging a handful of the college coaches that have been shooting us messages, and I'll tell you what, the message is the same. Just keep your nose to the ground and do what you do, and look up at the scoreboard when it's all said and done, and that's all we can do.
Boys, this was great. I really appreciate it. Congratulations on a great win. I think you knew how much Moorhead was cheering last night, and there's going to be a few people at the game next Friday night. I got a feeling that's going to be quite the scene at US Bank Stadium. Thanks for the time, boys. Congrats. Have a great weekend, okay?
Hey, this will make it a great weekend. Thanks, Tom.
There he goes. Kevin and Jett Feeney joining us from the Moorhead Spuds after their win last night over Centennial. They will play in the 6A semifinals. Again, Eric, if we could throw up the bracket here for what 6A has. They will play the winner of Maple Grove and Lakeville South. That game is later tonight, and the winner of that will play, obviously, Moorhead. That game will be next Friday night at 7:30. You see the other side, these are all teams the Spuds played. They're all in their section. St. Michael Albertville, Minnetonka, Edina, at Eden Prairie. The winners of that semifinal, as Kevin mentioned, is on Thursday night. So we'll be keeping our eyes on that to see who's in the Final Four in 6A football. That was fun. That pizza story is amazing. I believe our guy Kevin Walvin's going to be all over that for the news tonight at 6 o'clock. We'll break here. We'll get back on time. We're wrapping up. We only got 35 minutes left in the show. We got picks coming. What's been a fun football Friday? Back on Hot Mic right after this.